Maybe we just connect up 2 of the iron mines, the 2 coal mines, and see what we can make on this. And then I think we will ship it up to Wichita since it's going to be closer. So let's give that a shot. Let's see what we can do. Let's try and avoid the forest because I want this road to go that way. Let's maybe do it in a way that doesn't cost me hundreds of thousands of dollars. So straight through there. Continue in a nice straight line and then over to about there. Should be totally fine. So we'll do that. That'll give us a bit of a straight shot to Wichita. This needs to curve to about there. And I guess just go straight over that way. Okay, that's fine. We have a little bridge there. Huh. I forgot we had that. Not gonna lie. Totally forgot we had a little bridge. Can I go under it? I totally can. Alrighty. Bring this down to here. Bring that around to there. And we'll just connect it over to the road as per usual. And that will be a connection for coal. This one, honestly, I'm thinking we do a similar thing with. I think we just bring it through the forest, though, because it's going to be the easiest way to do it here. There's not really any other way to go. So bring it through to about there. And bring it to about there. And that will be another connection for coal. And then this guy can probably connect to that little road. That'll be a connection for iron. And this one's quite far away. There is an iron mine up there, but it's also quite far away. I think these 2 are the closest, though. Which is a bit of a pain, because they're not all that close, but whatever. Let's bring you through those trees. And let's just bring sort of through these trees as well. We'll just connect it up by the coal mine, and that'll hopefully be a bit quicker than everything else going on. So that'll kind of work. I think it's a bit of a mess of roads, but I think that'll work out. All we need to do is get ourselves a couple of truck stations. And we're only going to need the 1 platform for them, since they're only going to be moving a single resource at any one time. So we'll do that. And then over here we'll do, can I get it in the side there? Is that an option? It is. I see it. There it is. That's not too bad looking. Road could be a little bit better, but not too worried about it. We'll throw it in there. Then up here as well, we can just throw it about there. So we got those 3, and then we needed this one down here. Was it that one down there? It was. No, it wasn't. Hold on. 1, 2, 3. This one. Yeah, it was coal. It was this one up here. So we're all right. So just throw that into. Oh, I hit the wrong button there. We'll just throw that into the forest there, and that'll be sorted. So that'll be the 4 sources for the trucks. I guess what we need to do next is we could actually use a truck station for this, and I think we will, just because I want to. So do this. We have 4 sources coming in here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll be the 4 platforms for the trucks to come in and deliver their goods. We'll bring this out because this might end up being quite lengthy, because that's where the steel is gonna end up going. We'll just extend that way a little bit as well. All right. So the thinking here is all of the resources come in on those 4. The steel goes on that one, and then the steel gets delivered to. I really want to deliver it to Detroit. I'm not gonna lie. I really, really do. Detroit also needs tools, and if I remember right, yeah. So we could start making. Tampa needs tools as well. Ooh, Tampa needs machines, which we could bring from Hollywood. See, this is why this massive train line is kind of important, because we can do a lot of things with it. You know, we can move a lot of goods on the same set of tracks. So this might work out for us. This might work out really nicely. We also have $40 million, I've just noticed. How many people on that train? 15. So Detroit's not very popular for the trains, unfortunately, but people do get off, so that's all right. Manage vehicle, let's duplicate. Just because we can, and that'll bring the frequency down even further. Which will be good. Hopefully people will start moving. So let's... I really want to go to Detroit with it, but Wichita is going to be closer. So let's do Wichita. Let's go to configure. Let's go to tracks. It is going to be such a nightmare to... It is going to be a nightmare to upgrade all of this to high-speed rail, isn't it? It really, really is. But we'll do that kind of thing. Not really sure what it's going to be like having cargo platforms on this side over here. Not really sure if that's going to work out or not, but we'll find out. I imagine it will. But that'll be the plan. So cargo platforms there. And then the steel needs to go from Wichita to Hollywood, I guess. Cape Coral, it's about the same distance. But then the problem is it's not a very long train ride, is it? Detroit probably would have been the better shout, wouldn't it? Detroit to Hollywood. Do we want to do maybe a dedicated cargo line doing that? Maybe we do. Because a little bit more time in the production might not hurt. Let's maybe do that. Let me go back into configure you and let me take out the let me take out those cargo platforms. We are going to do it. We are going to do it a bit differently. We're going to go for Detroit. So let's see. Detroit, configure. I think we might do Detroit this way as well, where the platforms are kind of like up against each other. That's not what I wanted at all. But that's all right. So we'll do that kind of thing. Bulldoze U. What is that? Is that an... Oh, that's an electric train. Hello. 75 miles per hour as well. $12 million as well. Never mind. That's probably a little bit out of my budget. I'm not going to lie. Just ever so slightly out of my budget. Not massively, just ever so slightly out of my budget. Well, I say that. I could afford it, but I'm not going to. Because again, little expensive. Just a little bit. So place that in there. Bulldoze U. Throw that there. So that'll be our cargo line for Detroit. And then we need it to go to... I am just going to say Hollywood, honestly. Although... that tunnel might make things difficult, but we'll find out. Let's go to here, configure, and platforms. So we have a lot of terrain flattening that's going to be done by this train station, but whatever. So that's our cargo line. That'll be our train tracks going in there. Just the whole way along. We have a bit of an issue here. What's up? What's going on? Problems. Train 9. What is wrong with you? What is going on? So no path. What do you mean no path? What do you mean no path? Where are you trying to go? There you go. I think it's just because I was editing the station, it was having some trouble. So let's just, there we go. Yeah, it's because I was editing the station, the train just kind of freaked out. That's fair enough. I'd probably freak out too, to be honest, if platforms and tracks are just suddenly appearing. Let me pause while I do this, just in case any other train comes in here and freaks out as well. All right. So that'll be our setup for Hollywood. I'm not really sure what way I'm gonna do the various tracks around here. I'm not sure if I should have them all share or not. Because part of me is thinking that we could do like smaller little regional lines with the other passenger platforms and stuff like that. Or have them go elsewhere. I don't know where else they could go. But like, you know, maybe a Hollywood direct to Pomona or something like that. You know, a line that comes down this way. Because that probably wouldn't be a bad idea. Like Hollywood to like Greensboro or something like that. You know, a line that goes directly that way. Then Tampa to Indianapolis. Like have some express lines that go from, you know, one corner to another. I genuinely think that might be a decent idea. But we'll see. That's, again, getting a little bit ahead of ourselves. Let's just do some tracks. And the cargo lines are 100% going to be separate from everything else, is what they're going to be. So this is going to end up being its own section of tunnel as well, which is a bit weird, but whatever. I'll have this come over, have it go under, and there we go. And yeah, sure, that's safe. So this goes to, are you not gonna let me do this? Game, hello? There you go. So that goes to about there. And then this bit will go to up there as well. And then we need to figure out, you know, how we're getting around the stations that we don't need to be going to, because we don't need to be going to Cape Coral. So I guess what we could do is have the cargo line take its own path at this point, because it needs to go straight to Detroit. We probably don't want it going through a passenger station either. So let's have this maybe, let's try something here. Let's try connecting you to there. Right. And then try connecting you to there. So that they kind of cut across each other, right? Which is a little weird, but that's all right. We'll do a signal here. We'll do a signal there. Then we'll do a signal about there as well. So they kind of cut across each other. A little bit weird, but not the end of the world. The trains have their signals, so they don't go weird. And I think, honestly, what we do is we do just give this sort of an express path down towards Detroit. So let's give that a shot, where it kind of veers off from the other trains there. And I hope this works. It's probably going to be really expensive because it's going to need more tunnels and bridges and all that nonsense. But from here, essentially straight past. I don't think Cape Coral is ever going to be like a hub for much. So I'm not too worried about having, you know, very little space back there. It is, yeah, this will go straight through those hills, isn't it? So do we want to do a bridge there? We don't really need to. I'm not going to lie. We don't need to go too crazy with bridges and stuff like that. Just pull the road up to meet the train. And yeah, we'll just continue straight on. So continue to about there. Carving out a bit of a path for ourselves, but not too bad. From here, we can just continue straight up to about that spot. And let me see. Yeah, I like that. That'll work out. So it's gonna go straight to there before it curves over, I think. So we've got a bit of a distance to go and probably some tunnels to build. So let's just see if we just kind of go in a straight line, what do we end up with? So where's the snapping point? I don't know if I can even get the snapping. Oh, there it is. So that's our snapping point. What happens? It tunnels. It comes out very briefly. Yeah, so it's just tunnels. That's fine. 1.9 million. That's a lot of money, but that's fine. We'll not stress too much about it. I think that'll be the best way to do it. It'll also be fast. That's the thing. It's just a big straight section of track. So again, high-speed rail later on. This will be good. And actually, This will probably end up being quite useful if we ever want to do like a Hollywood to Detroit Express line again. Or even a Hollywood, honestly, a Hollywood to like Westminster. This line will be really useful. It is strictly, at the minute, a cargo line. But later on, it'll be really good. So anyway, that's what I'm thinking for bringing that in. That's going to be cutting across a few sections of track, but it does maintain its speed. Oh, there's too much slope, apparently. Fair enough. Could I bring it in like this then? Like, what if I wanted to do too much slope? Okay. So can I legitimately not do this? Okay, we might need to figure out a slightly different solution then. So bring this out. Bring this out. And then this needs to go to there. Still too much slope. Okay. I don't think it's going to let me do this. I think there is just going to be way too much slope for this to work. It's this bit specifically. It's the fact that these lines are way away from each other. So I might need to bring it out slightly differently. Let's bring this back. And let's see if we can go from here like this, right? And then around. So that should work. Now, what line is that? That is the outermost one. So let's bring this forward and then let's bring this around. So that'll be, yeah, that'll be the inner line, which needs to go to about there. Which again, weirdly cuts over the other tracks, but I'm not gonna stress too much about it. Because we can put signals in and it will be totally fine. So a signal, say there, for example, then bulldoze you, and then a signal, let's see, about there, and then about there, and about there. So that should stop any like weird overlap from the trains. Then all we need to do is go to that spot and go to that spot. And then essentially we end up with a dedicated line taking steel from Detroit up to Hollywood, which seems pretty solid to me. We are going to need a truck station up here, actually. I totally forgot about that. We're only going to need the one platform, though, which is nice. So let's just bring this around. And we're going to be getting rid of some buildings, which is all right by me. I'm not super stressed about it. We'll throw it there. And that is... what I'm thinking is that's going to just grab all of the steel and take it down to the goods factory. Because I think there's enough plastic down there. We just want to grab it from there, deliver it to the goods factory. We'll be sorted. And then what else do we need to do? So we need a truck unload stop in Detroit in front of this station. So right about there should be fine. We'll probably want some buses down there at some point as well, but that's all right. So truck unload stop in Detroit. Let me have a look. And then we need a line that goes from Detroit. That's fine. We can do that. We can get the cargo train on there at some point too. Let's work backwards. Let's work backwards and creating these lines. So the first one we're going to need is from here going to here. All right. And that is going to be a cargo line. And that is Hollywood steel to goods is what that is. That'll be Hollywood steel to goods. And then working back from that line is going to be Detroit steel to Hollywood is what that'll be. So that'll be from here going all the way to there, which is going to look a little bit weird right now because the lines aren't set up properly, but that's all right. And that is going to be a cargo train, and that is DETROIT, Detroit steel to Hollywood. And that'll be all right. So the train comes in the right side, meaning from the left, it needs to be able to go to the right. So from there, you need to be able to go to there. Let's do the same down in Hollywood really quickly, or sorry, Detroit really quickly. Comes in on the right, so it needs to go from the left to the right. Did that fix the line? It didn't. So Detroit Steel to Hollywood. You need to be coming in on a different platform. There you go. All right, so that fixed that. There are no signals on that that line right now, but I'm not worried because we're probably only going to have the one train on it. Sorry, I'm trying to speak faster than my brain is willing to process things right now. It's not going well for me. But that is the steel line set up. So now what we need to do is set up the line that's going to bring the steel to the station, which is going to be going from here to Detroit. So that will be cargo steel to Detroit station, I guess, or train work. So steel to Detroit train. And then all we need are the various lines bringing the goods to make the steel. So from Detroit Annex going to here. And I guess we can say cargo, Detroit, what is it? Iron or ore, I guess. Detroit ore to steel. One. Sure, we'll do Detroit ore to steel number 1. And then it is Detroit coal is the next one. So let's get that one set up as another cargo line. So Detroit coal to steel number 1. Did I do that properly? Where is it? Detroit coal to steel number 1. I want the little number on there. So Detroit coal to steel number 1, and then we have ore from up here as well, and that'll be Detroit ore to steel number 2. And then it's just the final coal one, which is from there. And that should put everything together for us in kind of an interesting way. So let's see. Once again, cargo, Detroit, coal to steel number 2. All right. So we want to make sure these are all in the right terminals. Terminal 5 is U. And then that leaves... Yeah, there we go. So that puts everything where it needs to be. And that is exactly what we want. We have vehicles that can take everything to where it needs to go. We don't have the train yet, but we can get it. We're going to need a train depot is what we're going to need. So, honestly, I think a little train depot in here might not be a bad idea. So, buildings, train depot, spin it around a little bit. I'll just sort of fire it there, and that should be all right. So let's bring this out. Nice straight line. Rotate it. Connect it there. Then, let's see. Nice straight line. Like this. And connect it to about there. And that should be fine. Don't need any signals right now. I'm not too worried about the train. Like, there's only going to be one train on the line. It's not going to be the end of the world. Let's get ourselves a road depot in Detroit, and then we are pretty much set to start putting vehicles on all of these different lines, which I'm genuinely really excited to see if this works. Because getting more steel up to Hollywood for goods production is going to be really good. Because if we can do that, like I said, we can start moving goods down towards Cape Coral and down to Wichita, both via train. So it'll kind of be huge. It'll kind of be a game changer for those places. That might be more dramatic than it needs to be, but I'm thinking it will be. Anyway, let's go ahead and start getting some trucks. And let's see if we can do some good things. Because what I'm thinking is we could use the Mack AC tarpaulin trucks. They're not as fast, but they can carry more. And I figure, why not? I mean, we're doing some work done here in Detroit specifically. They're not going to be holding back any other vehicles. So let's do 10 of those. And let's throw them out onto Detroit coal steel number 1. They can, oh, we can do flatbeds with those. Sure, let's do 10 of the flatbeds as well then. And then that'll be Detroit coal to steel number 2. And then I guess we'll get 10, we'll do like 10 of each for kind of the alternating lines. And then this will be Detroit's ore. Don't know why I couldn't speak. It's happening. My brain not keeping up with my mouth. So you are going to be coal to steel number, ore to steel number 2. Okay. So those lines should now have vehicles, if I'm not mistaken. Let's have a little look. So sort by name, Detroit. Yeah, they do. Okay. So keep you pinned for a second. Manage vehicles. You guys should all be yellow. Then you guys should all be bright pink. You guys should all be bright red, which you sort of are, but you could be brighter. And then you guys should all be very blue. So there we go. That'll sort those out a little bit. So that's them with their color. We should probably upgrade some of the older vehicles too. We will get to that though. But that's the steel getting made. We need to get the steel from the plant to Detroit. So for that, I'm slightly tempted to use this, but will not bother. But we could use the Benz truck with side stakes. Let's use the Benz truck. It's a bit faster. It carries a good bit. Let's do 5 vehicles on that for the time being. And let's put that on the steel to Detroit. Yeah, steel to Detroit train, which needs to be, where is it? Steel to Detroit train, vehicles, bright purple, please. Because I want you to always be the right color. And then what's next? So that's all the vehicles that do that job. Let's get the vehicles that'll go from, actually, let's not do that. Let's let that get started. And let's kind of let the production get moving a little bit. Because we are seeing production. We are seeing some goods head out. Got an army of very colorful trucks moving out of Detroit right now. Looks a little bit ridiculous. But whatever, that's fine. Those Benz trucks will get held back by they will get held back by the slower Mack trucks, but things will sort of spread out as time goes by. So yeah, these guys are doing good. You're doing good. So they are all doing their thing, which is fantastic. Look at that line of trucks. Look at that ridiculousness. That really is ridiculous. What are you doing? So your machines to Hollywood. Okay, you know what? Machines to Hollywood replace with... Let's do that. Replace you with that. That will stop you complaining.